From the first glance, the 2026 Mustang signals continuity through silhouette but speaks modernity in the details. A wider, lower stance, sharper creases around the shoulders, and a front fascia that's both assertive and cleaner than some recent iterations. LED lighting signatures are thinner, more purposeful, and the grille treatment is broader with subtle functional openings that hint at airflow management rather than pure ornamentation. The wheel choices and relatively short overhangs keep the profile athletic, and the stance is one of controlled aggression rather than bluster. That aesthetic shift isn't superficial, it plays into improved aerodynamics and thermal management, and the overall effect is a car that looks like it'll go fast while being capable of living with you day to day. Under the sheet metal, the 2026 Mustang continues to offer a trio of well-chosen powertrains that serve different kinds of buyers. A 2.3-liter turbocharged EcoBoost 4-cylinder for those who want efficiency and usable torque, a venerable 5.0-liter TVC V8 that remains the emotional center of the lineup, and a tuned, high-output Gen 4 5.0 V8 for the dark horse variant that pushes power in response to a new peak for the nameplate. Ford's published figures show the EcoBoost making roughly 315 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque, while GT models with the 5.0-liter V8 produce around 480 horsepower and 415 pound-feet. Dark horse models are rated at about 500 horsepower with a further optimized exhaust and engine calibration for sharper behavior. These outputs give the 2026 Mustang a wide performance envelope, brisk and efficient for daily commuting in EcoBoost, theatrical and muscular in GT form, and borderline intoxicating in dark horse trim. The transmission choices emphasize engagement without closing the door on convenience. A 6-speed manual remains available for purists who want to row their own gears, and a 10-speed automatic delivers swift, slick shifts for those who prefer the modern effortless approach. The pairing of high torque and a smooth 10-speed keeps the GT and dark horse feeling nimble at speed and composed in traffic, while the manual option keeps the tactile joy of heel and toe downshifts and the mechanical connection a core Mustang attribute. Observers who value a traditional driving rapport will be comforted to know Ford hasn't abandoned the analog pleasures even as it layers in modern hardware. What's new inside is perhaps where most buyers will notice the greatest change. The cabin keeps a driver-centric orientation but trades some of the retro flourishes for a cleaner, tech-forward presentation. A customizable 12.4-inch digital instrument cluster and a 13.2-inch capacitive touchscreen headline the update, delivering clear graphics, easy connectivity, and a level of polish that rivals European rivals in this price band. Infotainment runs Ford's latest software with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility, and there's enough configurability to let you tailor gauges, drive modes, and display priorities without hunting through menus. Materials across the dash and doors feel more premium than in recent Mustangs, with tighter seams, better tactile plastics, and optional upgraded seat leathers and trim packages that lift the cabin ambiance significantly. Driving dynamics are a careful balancing act on this generation. Ford has worked to improve body control and steering precision without sacrificing the twitchy, theatrical feedback many enthusiasts equate with the Mustang experience. Suspension tuning, varied by trim, uses a combination of active dampers, wear-fitted revised geometry, and stiffer subframes to reduce float while improving cornering confidence. The result is a car that grips and points with more intention than the blunt force muscle cars of old, and yet still offers that satisfying V8 soundtrack, particularly so in dark horse and GT spec with the active valve performance exhaust option. For daily use, the EcoBoost is surprisingly competent. It's lighter up front, more composed over imperfect pavement, and its turbocharger delivers tractable mid-range torque that makes city and highway driving relaxed and quick. For spirited drives, the GT's V8 character is classic: immediate throttle response, linear power delivery, and that vibratory bravado that you can't fake with speakers. The Dark Horse is the serious play variant in the lineup. It takes the 5.0-liter architecture and squeezes more from it through cam and intake tuning, upgraded exhaust, and cooling improvements that keep performance consistent under stress. Aside from straight-line power, Dark Horse adds chassis upgrades, beefier brakes, refined suspension calibration, and unique aero bits that serve function as well as form. If you want a Mustang that behaves like a track-first car yet remains civil on the street, Dark Horse is Ford's answer, a car that can lap a track and then whisk you home without changing personality. The numbers tell part of the story, but the tactile changes, firmer feedback, shorter shift throws in manual spec, and more sensitive brake modulation, are what define the experience. Safety and driver assist tech have also been stepped forward. Ford includes a modern suite of active systems: lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring, adaptive cruise, forward collision mitigation, and a competent camera and radar package that helps in heavy traffic. While the Mustang will never be a family SUV, these systems are welcome for everyday life and long drives. They reduce fatigue and augment the driver without overwhelming the experience with theatrical autonomous behavior. Build quality and fitment improvements help reduce wind noise and make the cabin a quieter place at highway speeds, which shows an attention to the small, cumulative comforts buyers notice over ownership time. Practicality in the Mustang remains true to form. Compact back seats that are best for small passengers or grocery overflow, a modest trunk that's deeper than it looks, and enough daily usability for couples or single owners who occasionally need to carry more than a backpack. Fuel economy will depend heavily on engine choice and driving style, EcoBoost being the most efficient choice. V8s consuming more is expected, but Ford's engineering balances performance with modern efficiency tricks where possible. For many buyers, the Mustang's appeal lies in that trade-off. You accept compromise in passenger space in exchange for a car that aligns its whole being toward driving pleasure. Pricing positions the 2026 Mustang to be competitive. Entry EcoBoost models start in a range that undercuts many performance coupes, while GT and Dark Horse trims step into more premium territory but still represent strong value when measured against what rivals charge for similar performance and tech. Typical starting figures reported across dealers and industry outlets place base EcoBoost models in the low to mid $30,000 range, GT models in the mid $40,000 neighborhood, and Dark Horse variants